for the heart. Appreciate it. Thank you. So you have the World and Queen of Cups reversed. Jess, all right, give me a second. It's okay. The World here suggests the sense of completion, wholeness, or even distance, like the cycle ends or someone is at the peak of their journey, could sometimes point to someone who feels they've moved on or is in a place of reflection after something meaningful. And then the Queen of Cups reversed uh, speaks to emotional overwhelming detachment or repressed feelings when reversed. She often suggests someone is not in touch with their feelings, possibly avoiding them or unsure of how to express them. So, together, he likely does feel your absence, but there's a strong possibility he's suppressing those emotions or trying to stay composed. So, the world suggests that he sees the connection as something meaningful and significant, possibly even finished in a way that still holds emotional weight. But the reversed Queen of Cups tells us that his emotional processing is blocked or inward, not being expressed. The short answer, yes, he is missing you, but he's either not allowing himself to feel it fully or he's not ready to show it. So you're reading there, Jess. And we got the Queen of Swords reversed and the Six of Cups. Just give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay, so the Queen of Swords here reversed. It often indicates someone who's been guarded, cold, or struggling with bitterness. Now, the Queen here may be suppressing truth or cutting herself off from vulnerability. In context of your question, this could reflect his mindset, closed off, possibly defensive, or emotionally unavailable. And the Six of Cups here, it's regarded as a nostalgia card, emotional memory, a longing for the past. It's a sweet, sentimental card. It speaks of wanting to return to a time when things were left felt safe, loving, and simpler. So together here, he may feel a strong emotional pull towards the past that you shared with the Six of Cups here, but he's thinking about you fondly. However, the reversed Queen of Swords suggests that he's conflicted, possibly dealing with unresolved hurt, guilt, or a fear that he's stopping him from acting on those feelings. That's your reading there. Josephine. For the Oracle, we have Fire Dragon. All right, let me pull the tarot. Nine of Cups and Queen of Swords reversed. Just give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. So, keywords for all of these cards. So the Fire Dragon here, it's about passion, transformation, vitality, fierce protection, rebirth, and wisdom through fire. It's a bold, energetic card. It's a fiery soul, possibly designed to challenge and awaken deep truths in you or others. It's a powerful soul with purpose, strength, and possibly a clearing fire energy. The Nine of Cups here, it's fulfillment, emotional contentment, granted wishes, joyful arrival. It suggests that the spirit baby is aligned with joy, desire, and fulfillment. They may represent a long held dream or be deeply connected to what your heart truly wanted, even if you don't fully realize it yet. And the Queen of Swords here reversed. Emotional walls, unspoken grief, a needing for heart mind balance, and overprotection shows that the baby might be waiting on emotional readiness. There could be lingering grief, fear, or unresolved emotions that are created to protect the wall around the energy. Um, so the message here is it's a passionate and transformative soul around you. connected to deeper emotional desires and fulfillment. Here in the Nine of Cups. But there may be emotional blocks, fear, or overthinking with the Queen of Swords reversed that need to be cleared first. The spirit baby here may be here to guide you through a transformation, like a fire cleansing, or the old to allow something new to grow. That's what I can tell you on that one. Five of Wands reversed, and the Chariot. All right. Give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. Keywords for these cards. Five of Wands here reversed is end of conflict, avoidance, inner tension, resolution possible, holding back expression. Card suggests past or internal struggles, competition, or mixed signals, maybe calming down a little bit. There's a desire to stop the fighting, or maybe even someone is tired of emotional tension and wants the clarity. And the Chariot, moving forward movement, determination, victory, willpower, controlled emotions. It's a strong yes for action. It shows focused energy towards a goal, often representing someone who wants to move ahead, take charge of a situation. So combined here is that the card suggests that a relationship could absolutely happen, but it's going to require both clarity and active effort. The Five of Wands reversed implies that the drama or uncertainty needs to be resolved or released, and the Chariot says once that emotional noise is clear, you two can move forward. So at least one person steps up with intent. So short answer is yes, there's a strong potential, but only after the conflict is resolved. Yeah, well, there you go. Three of Swords reversed, and Fool. All right. Let me give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. So, keywords for these cards. The Three of Swords reverse is healing, lingering heartbreak, wanting to forgive or be forgiven, releasing emotional pain. So this card suggests an emotional wound or softening. There could maybe a desire to move past old hurt. It could indicate someone is still processing the pain, but starting to open up again. And then the Fool, new beginnings, openness, curiosity, risk-taking, fresh energy. The Fool wants to start over, light, free, unburdened. It's a card of hope and readiness to step forward, even if uncertain about the outcome. So the message here is yes, they do likely want to talk, but they may be unsure of how to begin. There's a tender desire to start fresh, but there's also that hesitation of past pain. They could be working through some vulnerability or fear of reopening any kind of wounds before. So the short answer is yes, they want to talk and start a new chapter, but they're still healing from past. They may need a little nudge or a sign of safety so they can reach out. That's your reading there, Kim. All right. These two I usually catch them, but right. That's where they wanted to stop. All right, we got the Queen of Wands with the Empress. All right, just give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay, keywords for these cards. For the Queen of Wands, confidence, magnetism, charisma, boldness, attracting attention. So you're showing up as someone radiant and ready. Others are noticing your energy, whether you're realizing it or not. And this queen draws people in with her passion, independence, and her inner fire. The Empress, abundance, love, nurturing, sensuality, Fertile energy, literally or symbolically. It's the crane or the um, it's a card of divine feminine energy. It represents both attraction and creation. In love, she says yes, and it's not any relationship. It's something that could be generally nurturing or emotionally fulfilling. So the message here is yes, you are in a powerful position to attract love soon. Both the cards are very strong and affirming and emotionally rich. They suggest you're aligned with love energy, radiating warmth and strength, and someone will be drawn to that soon. So the short answer, yes, it's going to happen soon. You're putting it out there and everybody's noticing. Whoever it is you want to attract, they're going to notice. And you're welcome, Serena. 9 of Swords. The Empress reverse. Right. Give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. So the keywords for these, from the 9 of Swords: anxiety, overthinking, sleepless nights, stress, fear, or failure. So the card reflects of a mental stress around your question that may be worrying more than helpful or imagining worst case scenarios. The Empress reverse: blocked creativity, a lack of growth, burnout, or depletion, feeling unsupported. In reverse, the Empress suggests a feeling of scarcity or lack, possibly pointing to self doubt, a dry patch on job opportunities, or trouble nurturing your potential in the current environment. So the combination here is the energy around next month feels tense and blocked. It doesn't look like an ideal window unless something shifts emotionally or creatively. Um, you may be burnt out or overwhelmed to recognize or act on the right opportunity. So the combo here suggests rest, self care, and clarity before you push forward. So, short answer, not likely next month unless you clear your mental and emotional blockages. That's your reading there. Rock and roll. Okay, the keywords here for the Queen of Wands reversed: scattered energy, distracted, misplaced confidence, overlooked details. The card suggests the AirPods may be lost due to a moment of distraction or overconfidence, or you were rushing. You might have to like overlook something obvious or place them somewhere slightly out of your routine. And the King of the Knight of Wands. Excuse me. uh, the Knight of Wands is impulsiveness, movement, adventure, in and out of energy, quick action. Suggests the AirPods were likely lost during a fast-paced moment. So you're rushing someplace new and dropped them somewhere. So somewhere in transit, like a car or a jacket pocket or a bag or near a doorway. So the short answer is yes, you will find them. Just check anywhere you were moving quickly or where you didn't slow down. Once you take charge of that search, you'll find them. Just wherever it was that you moved quickly, that was new to you. Thank you. That's your reading there, Maria. The High Priestess and the Chariot. Right, just give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. So the High Priestess, the keywords for these are silence, intuition, hidden emotions, secrets, the divine timing. The card shows there's a mystery or distance between you. Tis maybe keeping thoughts or feelings private, things that are unfolding behind the scenes. Suggests a strong spiritual or intuitive link, but not actively communicating yet. And then the Chariot is about movement, direction, willpower, forward progress, and victory. The card is decisive and determined. It suggests that communication is likely, especially if somebody takes action with their intention and clarity. So, the overall message here is yes, you're likely to talk again, but not randomly. It'll happen when the moment is right, likely after one of you gathers emotional clarity and takes charge. There's a quiet pull between you, but it needs a direction to become communication. If that makes sense. What you reading there, Kayla? Two of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed. All right, give me a second. Gather my thoughts. Okay, the keywords here were Two of Cups reversed, misalignment, disconnection, unclear agreement, a lack of chemistry. I suggest a lack of mutual fit. Either you or the interviewer won't fully align. The position doesn't reflect your deeper values or emotional needs. And the Queen of Cups, emotional drain, uncertainty, self-doubt, sensitivity, or feeling misunderstood. It could indicate that you felt emotionally off, like the vibe wasn't good enough or something during the interview. It also shows the outcome that leaves you feeling unsettled or disappointment. The combined message here is the energy points to a less favorable outcome, likely due to emotional misalignment or just a poor fit. Not necessarily due to qualifications, but perhaps the chemistry or the values or the unspoken cues during the interview. As a short answer, it's unlikely to be yes. The cards reflect some emotional disconnection or a mismatch, possibly leaving you feeling unvalued or drained from by the experience. So you either have to turn up the charisma during the interview to make sure that you two vibe, because the vibe might be off during the interview. Tenemos el Hierophant y Ace of Wands. Dame un momento. Los keywords son shared values, adición, mentorship, aprendiendo, a respect for structure or belief system. The card suggests that the friendship will be based on a deep mutual respect, possibly shared philosophies, spiritual path, or a structured environment como trabajo, la escuela, or algo espiritual. It may even feel a bit destined, como you were meant to be with him, not be with him, but you were meant to. It was meant to be. And el Ace of Wands, spark, excitement, nuevo, beginning, creative or a passionate energy, inspired connection. The card is clearly a new friendship is forming, but it brings a fresh, energizing start. There's a potential for excitement, growth, and creative flow between you two. So the message here is this new friendship holds both depth and fire. It could be a meaningful connection that inspires you both, possibly with somebody you admire or learn from or collaborate with. It's a great blend of respect and chemistry. So the short answer here for your question about the new friendship is yes, it's a new and meaningful friendship. It's gonna emerge. It's rooted in a shared value, like algo that you two both like. It's gonna spark something. It's gonna be it's gonna go strong and fast. Strong and fast. Because the future is not set in stone. Ooh, okay. Bull reversed and High Priestess. Okay. Okay. Keywords here for the High Priestess: intuition, mystery, inner knowing, silence, and spiritual depth. Oh, I was kind of hard word with that one. Depth. You're in a phase where answers lie within, not outside. So you may be feeling more withdrawn or observant or in need of reflection. The general reading here. This card urges you to trust your gut, honor your pace, something that's unfolding quietly beneath the surface. The full reversed, hesitation, fear of the unknown, missed opportunity, a need for caution, warns against rushing into something unprepared or acting out of naivete. I think that's the word. It can also reflect fear of starting something new or second guessing yourself about what you're taking a leap. So the combined message here for your general quandary is you're in a powerful but delicate moment, intuitively tuned in. Geez, a lot of T's in those words, but possibly holding back from a new beginning out of fear or uncertainty. So right now is the time to pause, reflect, and align with your inner truth before stepping forward. Don't let the hesitation block your growth. But also don't ignore your intuition. So you're being called to trust your gut, even if you feel unsure or stuck. Sometimes something new is calling, but the universe says pause, prepare, but do not rush. That's your general reading there, Witch Bunk. Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Hermit. Yeah, okay. Interesting. All right, just give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. Keywords here for these cards. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, stagnation, delays, lack of progress, hesitation to commit, uncertainty about next steps, obviously. This suggests a potential slowdown or disruption in plans, either logistically or due to personal hesitation. There may be unfinished groundwork or financial concerns keeping things from moving forward. The Hermit, solitude, inner search, wisdom through patience, taking time to reflect, going within before acting. It suggests a decision to move or not will be based on deep personal reflection. It's not a no, but it does indicate a move might be more spiritually motivated than practical, or that you're still seeking clarity about the purpose of the relocation. So the combined message here is energy is moving around, moving to Virginia next year, but it's uncertain and slow. You may not feel ready, or you may still be in the inner search phase where you're figuring out where if the move aligns with your long-term path. This could be a not yet, but it's not a solid no. It's not likely unless something shifts. So right now the cards show a delay, an introspective, and an unclear motivation. So you're still deciding if this move is truly what you're wanting. Geeky. That's your reading. Hope that helps. Another 7. And you got the Bull. 2 of Wands reversed, and Ace of Swords reversed. Give me a second to gather my thoughts. I know. Okay. Keywords for these cards here. Just move these over. For the Bull, strength, loyalty, stubbornness, slow but steady commitment, grounded passion. In love, the Bull represents a powerful but cautious force, someone who may feel deeply but is slow to act, a very protective and possibly stuck in an old habit or pride. The Two of Wands, indecisions, fear of change, stuck in a comfort zone, plans not moving forward, suggests that in your love life there may be hesitation about stepping into unknown, whether it's uh, whether it's about starting something new or progressing. It's ex- existing connection. There's a sense of being emotionally or mentally held back. And the Ace of Swords reversed, it's a lack of clarity, miscommunication, repressed truth, or a mental fog. Just the keywords here. So you may be struggling to understand someone's intuition or intentions. It's not, or not expressing your own truth. Honest communication is blocked. And confusion or silence may be clouding the situation. So the combined message here is that love energy right now feels stalled or confused. There's a strong foundation underneath, but it's weighed down by indecisions or lack of clear communication. You or someone involved may be resisting a change, afraid to speak, or simply not ready to take a big leap. So the short here is there's a potential for something strong and grounded, but it's currently blocked by a fear or a silence or a lack of direction. The bull here says to be patient and don't let pride or fear trap you in your stillness. It's your combined combo reading there. Jenny. Two of Cups reversed, and the Emperor. All right, give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay, keywords here for the Two of Cups reversed: disconnection, emotional imbalance, separation or tension, a misunderstanding, unequal feelings. This it suggests that there's been a break or an emotional disruption between you two, either a falling out, a growing apart, or a misalignment in emotionally availability. He may feel like the emotional connection is strained or it's hard to access. And then the Emperor is about control, stability, emotional restraint, structure over vulnerability, and authority. So he may be putting up walls or choosing to process his emotions through logic and control rather than openly feeling them. It doesn't mean that he doesn't care, but he's likely focused on staying composed, in control, or emotionally distant. The combined message here is that he may feel like that the emotional bond is weakening and that he's responding by putting up a emotional armor. Or the Emperor shows that he's not showing vulnerability, but he could be feeling hurt, conflicted, and disappointed, but chooses to prioritize his control and his boundaries or his pride over his reconnection. So he feels disconnected, and instead of processing that emotionally, he's shutting down. He's going into control mode. There's still feelings there, but they're buried under some armor. That's your reading there, Ali. Seal. Let's see what the tarot has to say. The Hanged One and the King of Cups reversed. Just give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. So, keywords for these. Steel, emotional depth, playfulness, and intuition, navigating between worlds, creativity from stillness, and trusting the tides. So the seal reminds you to dive into your emotions without drowning in them. It swims between deep emotional realms and surface joy. Your higher self is guiding you to balance sensitivity with trust and to let emotions move through you, not consume you. The hanged one, the hanged man, is about surrender, perspective shift, pause for insight, spiritual growth through stillness. You're in a period of necessary stillness or suspension, not punishment. Your higher self is asking you to release control, allow the shift in how you see things, and stop struggling against them. And then the King of Cups reversed is emotional, overwhelmed, suppression, moodiness, difficulty expressing your emotions. So you may be emotionally blocked or trying to manage deep feelings alone. This card suggests it's time to acknowledge, not bottle up your emotion, even if it's messy. So the combined message overall here is that you're in a sacred pause, and don't force the clarity. Let it come like a tide. Feel your emotions. Don't let them anchor you in your pain. So float with them, heal with them. In stillness, it will show you what you've been trying to control or ignore. Trust the process. Your heart is learning to breathe underwater. So it's asking you to surrender, feel, and trust, and stop pushing for the answers and let your inner tides guide you. And it's a moment of deep emotional perspective and healing. That's your message there from your higher self, David. You got bird, but it's Rin, WREN, Rin. World reversed, and Eight of Swords. Okay. So keywords for these cards. For the Rin, I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. Rin. Cleverness, resourcefulness, finding joy in the small things, sacred song, making the most of limited space or time. Uh, the Rin brings a light, agile spirit. It reminds you that love doesn't need to be grand to be meaningful. It's about noticing the hidden beauty in every day and trusting your voice even when things feel small or stuck. It encourages you to look for creative ways to feed your heart. The world reverse. It's unfinished business, delayed closure, incomplete cycles, feeling stuck or held back from fulfillment. It suggests that in love, you may be feeling like a chapter hasn't fully ended or a new one hasn't begun, even if you've been ready. There's a sense of something being incomplete or emotionally unresolved. And then the Eight of Swords, it's like feeling trapped, mental fog, limiting beliefs, self-imposed restrictions. This card reinforces the feeling of being stuck, especially by your own thoughts or fears. In love, it suggests that you might be holding yourself back, afraid of being vulnerable, repeating an old pattern, or unsure of how to move forward. So, the combined message here is that you may feel stuck in a love cycle that hasn't closed, or afraid to start something new because of old wounds or a mental block. And the Rin uh, says freedom begins with a song. And so shift your perspective and celebrate the small emotional victories and trust your instinct and to um that will lead you forward even in little subtle ways. So love feels paused or restrained right now due to past unfinished energy or limiting beliefs, but the Red encourages you to find lightness, Express your truth and let your clever heart guide you out of that mental cage. All right, there's one. Got the King of Wands and the Two of Pentacles reversed. Just give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay, so the keywords for these, um, for the King of Wands, is confidence, initiative, bold energy, leadership, and passion. It suggests that he has a desire and a drive to take action. He may be thinking about making the move, especially if he's feeling passionate or if, like, it's his moment to step forward. And then the Two of Coins reversed is overwhelmed, juggling too much, prioritization of issues, and dropping the ball. It shows that he may be feeling mentally or emotionally off balance right now. Even if he wants to reach out, he could be struggling to find the time, energy, or clarity to actually do it. So the combined message here, Natasha, or there's no T in your name. Sorry. There's a strong impulse to reach out, but it's clashing with inner or outer instability. He may be caught up in responsibilities or emotional distraction, which could cause delays or hesitation, not from a lack of interest, but from a lack of grounding. So the short answer, maybe, but it's not guaranteed. He wants to, but he may feel overwhelmed or disorganized this week. A message might come if he regains a balance, or it could slip depending on how much he's juggling right now. That's your reading there. Naisha. Naisha. There you go. That's her name. We have the Six of Cups and the Ten of Cups reversed. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Keywords here. For the Six of Cups is nostalgia, sentimental memories, longing for the past, emotional softness, or inner child connection. So he definitely misses you. This card is filled with tenderness and sweet reflection. It shows he's thinking about shared memories and the emotional bond that you have. There's a strong emotional imprint that you left on him. But the Ten of Cups here is about disappointment in love, broken dreams, emotional distance, a desire for happiness but not feeling it, an unmet potential. It suggests that he once imagined a future with you or had a deep hope, but those dreams are now a little out of touch. He may still love you, but it's complicated by feelings of loss, emotional confusion, or regret. The message here is that, yeah, he does miss you deeply and the love is still present, but it's tangled with sadness or disappointment about how things turned out. You may be yearning for a connection, excuse me, um, that feels emotionally safe or whole again, but he's also feeling like that dream has slipped away or slipping away and it's becoming harder to reach. So should I reach out first or let him reach out? You should make him yeah, he does miss you, but he still holds love for you, but there's emotional pain. So and it's very cloudy. You may wish things had ended differently or hope for emotional healing, even if it's unsure how. So I think he wants a structure. He wants maybe like a guarantee, possibly. All right, Princess. Got the Hierophant and the Empress reversed. Oh, these cards keep popping up today. All right, give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. Princess. The keywords here for the Hierophant: structure, tradition, financial systems, institutions like banks, jobs, government support, learning through discipline. It suggests that financial improvement comes through structure, routine, or institutional support. You may benefit from revisiting traditional paths, a stable job, of financial education, or advice from a mentor or a professional. It's not the time to go at it alone or winging it. The Empress Reverse is about financial drain, overgiving, say, scarcity mindset, neglecting self care or creativity, and blocked abundance. So this indicates that you may be neglecting your own needs, overextending, or feeling financially depleted. You may be investing energy or money into some others without proper return, or not tending to your own creative worth or self value. So the message overall here is you're being called to reclaim financial stability by grounding yourself in structure and self worth. Now, the Hierophant here says seek guidance, follow a grounded plan, or rejoin a system that offers reliability. The Empress Reverse says stop overgiving or draining your resources without caring for yourself. So the short answer is money will stabilize when you combine your structure with self nurturing. So stop pouring from an empty cup and build or return into a solid foundation. Don't be afraid to ask for help and set limits. You're welcome, Princess. Thank you for the question.